The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13.
This taken in at the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
Now, this defense for the Eagles, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Eckler going to get it again on second down.
Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end.
And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. The Falcons send out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
This is going to be the matchup to watch out on the perimeter, and it won't be the last time these two go at it. Both of them believe they are the superior. In this case, the win goes to the defense.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Smith. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17.
12 more yards there and another 1st down. From the red zone now, Smith. And it's caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Sanders is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
Throwing is Smith. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown.
Quez Watkins,
his 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Eagles are on the board first here this afternoon.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Looking to throw. Bryant
got this complete to the tight end Pitts. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Off the play fake. Bryant.
And complete to Drake London.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one good for 26 and a first down. Back to throw. Bryant.
Now into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick.
And the Eagles force the turnover. And they'll take over at the 10. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Second down, back to Sanders.
And this is going to be back-to-back tackles for a loss here as the Falcons defense yet again drops him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
From his goal line here, Smith. And he's got his big tight end here. And they work this out past the 25. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15. Now a first down throw. It's Smith.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. The Eagles at 2-10 now on the year. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go with Sanders.
And not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard to the 27.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just one first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
On 1st and 10, Bryant.
That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
After the interception, here's Smith. And he's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Meanwhile, here's a shot for the end zone right away, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll try to run with Sanders. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. So that challenge a successful one. Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. He loses a full 5 yards there on the sack, and it also brings up 4th down, 4th and goal. The kick by Elliott is good. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for it.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
From the gun on third down, Bryant. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Right at the coverage we just saw break out on third down. Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Smith. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. Watkins the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, that's a defense coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Miles Jack with a sack. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
Ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Looking to throw. Bryant. Hassan Reddick in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Operating from the gun. Bryant. That's going to be caught by Pitts. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Back to throw. Bryant. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Smith. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Third and long, it's Smith. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. And this one is right down the middle.
But for almost 8 years, 64 stood as the NFL record for the longest field goal. That has since been eclipsed. It's now 66, but still 64-yarder. Pretty impressive, CD.
Absolutely agree with that, because if you drill a 60-yarder in an NFL game, you've got a lot to be proud of, record or no record. And only a handful of guys can even attempt it. Excellent job there, putting that one through the pipes.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him, because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
And he can't escape, and down he goes. Hassan Reddick in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. 1 second, all that remains. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Here's Koo to kick it off.
Taken in at the 3. And able to get this out to the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Now it's Smith off the bootleg. Sliding out of the pocket.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's taken to the 26.
Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. They started on the ground with Eckler. Well, the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Looking to throw. Bryant. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Bryant. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is, because he understands how to get open in key situations.
On 1st down, Bryant.
He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the 2nd half.
5 yards remain on 2nd down.
Back to throw again. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity
and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
He's got his man, London, right side.
Touchdown, Falcons!
Drake London, 29 yards. And the Falcons are back within a score.
Extra point forthcoming. And that'll make it 13-7.
Makes the score Eagles 13, Falcons 7.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
It's a second down run with Sanders.
And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Bryce Callahan.
And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Running on first down, Eckler. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
To throw on second down, Bryant. And that is caught. It's Ridley. Touchdown! Calvin Ridley, 25 yards for the touchdown.
And the Falcons strike quickly here to tie up the ball game.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that will put them on top here in the 3rd.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
Now it's Smith. He's going to take another shot here.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Falcons are going to take over at their own 2-yard line.
3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said, 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
To throw from his end zone, Bryant. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
The third quarter now at a 1-point game as they line up 2nd and 10.
Up the middle with Eckler. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. On the screen, this is Eckler. And, oh, that is going to be a safety.
The goal here is about getting any kind of positive yardage in this spot because you don't care who, you don't care how. You just want to try and buy a little space and get away from your own end zone. But in this spot, the defense was all over that play and equally motivated to stick them with a safety.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping Chili on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Smith. Hard throw, incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And take it right on the 30. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And it will be Falcon football.
At their own 39-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From the gun on 3rd down, Bryant. This is swung out to Eckler. And he is going to have a Falcons first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This pass is caught by London. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
A give, Eckler running to the right. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
2nd and 6 from the 10.
Comes the blitz as they look to throw. Touchdown, Falcons! Calvin Ridley. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Falcons have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. Quite the comeback here. They have erased that deficit, pushed themselves out in front now here in this fourth quarter.
But this game's kind of felt like a horse race, hasn't it, partner? Because you have the other guys run out to their big lead, but then slowly and surely, they've been creeping up and closing that gap. Now they're stuck ahead in front here late in the game. The finish line's not far away. They need their defense to finish this thing off.
And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. From the gun, here's Smith.
He delivers another to Goddard, complete.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
On a bad time late for a poor throw. It's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
On third down, here's Eckler. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And he missed it. It's no good. And this will remain a one-touchdown game. Things just got interesting. They tried for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Smith. And this is caught by Watkins. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 15 more yards there, and quickly another first down. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
Smith's throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard.
Now Smith.
Oh, and that nearly ended it. That should have been intercepted, but he cannot corral it, and that is a lifeline there with third down coming up.
Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you.
And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds It's a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime. Elliott now to have the extra point. And we may very well be headed to overtime. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter.
Pulls it in at the 13. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Operating from the gun, Bryant. He's going to try and go deep again. And that will be incomplete. Try to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw. Bryant. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't come in. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
We think back to halftime, you know, they were close to being written off. They faced the deficit, and now here's we begin overtime. They're 1 drive away from a comeback victory.
Think about where they started and how far they've come back from. And look, you and I both know that when we talk with coaches, most of the time they don't say that momentum is something that factors into how they coach a ball game, because they say each game is its own entity. But within a game, I think they all believe in momentum, and they certainly have it going in their direction right now.
Now a play fake here on 1st down.
That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. 16 more on that one and another 1st down.
Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Throwing on 1st down. Bryant. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, they sent him on the blitz from that linebacker spot, and boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got into the backfield so fast, it was hard for anyone to react.
Looking to throw on second down. Bryant. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
They'll come up now on a second and long after the hold. Back to throw. Bryant.
Crossing route incomplete. He's got Pitts.
And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime.
So a win here for the Falcons. And it was thanks in large part to the play of their second-year quarterback.